Ready?
Sandoval. No, she's fine. Doc checked her yesterday. She's fine. She's just gentle. She's somebody's pet.
How much you give, Antone? $2. 210. 210 20 and 20 30 and 30 40. You're going to get 40. You're going to get 50. You're going to be 60. 260 and 250 60. You're going to be 250 60. You're going to be 70. You're going to get 270. You're going to get 280. You're going to get 90 and 290. 80 90. You're going to be 80 90. You're going to get 90. You're going to get 90. You're going to be 90. You're going to get 90. You're going to be 90. You're going to get 90. Jace 280. 6. Got a flat tire. Give $1. $2, 210, 210 20, and 210 20, 30, you're gonna get 30, you're gonna get 40, you're gonna get 50, 60, 270, you're gonna get 270, yeah, and tone 280, 90, and 290, you're gonna be 80, 90, you're gonna be 80, 90, you're gonna get 90, you're gonna be 90, you're gonna get 90, you're gonna get 90, you're gonna be 90, you're gonna get 90, Ricardo, 280. Little low back. $2. 210, yes, 210, 210 20, and 210 20, there you're going to be 210 20, there you're going to be 210 20, mid 20 20, and 20 there and 20, you're going to be 220 to 210 20, you're going to get 210 20, you're going to get 210 20, you're going to be 10 20, you're going to be 20. Terry, 210, 9. Tim Shook's got a couple singles. Don't have him clubby. Got a little bit. Thin steer, $2. 210 20 and 210 20 30, you're going to get 30, you're going to get 40, you're going to get 50, you're going to be 250 60, you're going to be 270, you're going to get 280, you're going to get 290, you're going to be $3, you're going to be 310, and 310, you're going to be 310, but 10, 310, you're going to be 310, but 10, 310. Ricardo, $3. $3. $3.10, yeah, 310, 10, 310, 310, and now 10, going to be 310, going to be 310, going to be 10, going to be 10, going to be 10, going to be 10, going to be 310, 310, 310, 310, and now 10, 250. 250, 60, 70, 270, 80, 280, 270, 80, and 280, you're going to get 290, you're going to be 280, 90, 80, 90, now $93, now 3, you're going to get 3, 290, you're going to get 3, you're going to be 90, you're going to get 3, you're going to be 90, you're going to get 3, Jace, 290, 7, 8, 70. $4. 410, 10, 10, 10, and now 10, going to be 410, going to be 10, going to be 10, 410, 410, 410, and now 10, going to be 410, going to be 10, going to be 10, 20, you're going to get 420, you're going to get 430, and 30, 40, you're going to get 440, you're going to get 450, you're going to be 460, and 450, 60, 70, you're going to get 480, you're going to get 480, and 70, 80, 480, you're going to get 480 here, poke 470, on number 00, double lot. Little lightweight boo, $3. 320, 340, 320, 40, Poke, 320. Double locked. Thank you. Shh. Let it go. He is a good steer. $4. Now 350 and 350 60 and 350 60. You're gonna be 350. You get 350 60. You're gonna be 350 60. You're gonna be 350 60 70 and 370. You get 370. You get 360 70. You get 70. You get 70. You get 70. Jace 360 70. Keep the sorters busy. Steer it. Yes, sir. 350. 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, gigabyte, 350, we get 350, we get 350, we get 350, $3, 310, 20, 330, 320, 30, 320, 30, and 20, 30, we get 30, we get 30, we get 30, we get 30, good with 30, Jace, 320, 70. Big heifer, $2. 200, we get 2, and now 10, and 210, go to 210, 210, 210, and 210, go to 210, we get 210, and 210, go to 210, go to 210, go to 10, poke, $2, 88. You want a pragged? Nah. $250. 250, 60, and 250, 60, you're going to be 260, you're going to be 260, 70, you're going to get 270, you're going to get 280, you're going to get 280, you give 80, 90, and 90, 293, and 90, 93, you're going to get 3, and 90, you're going to get 3, you're going to be 90, you're going to get 3, you're going to be 90, you're going to get $3, you're 90, you're going to get 3, sold, 290, and tone. Jimmy Ward cattle guys from up there at Stillwater, they are guaranteed open. 320, 322 and a half, and 320, you're going to get 2 and a half, going to be 20, you're going to get 2 and a half, going to be 322 and a half, going to be 2250, and 320, you're going to get 320, you're going to get 320, you're going to get 320, you're going to be $3. Now 5, and 305, and 35, you're going to get $5, you're going to get 5, 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 305, 10, going to be 310, going to be 310, now 15, and 310 and 15, going to be 10 and 15, but about 10 and 15, Jason, 310. 6 X Preg. Doing good, isn't he? 250. 250. $2. $2 a pound. 210 a pound. 210. 2 and now 10. Terry, $2. 9. Schwartz, every guys from up there at Okarche. They're guaranteed open. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 60, going to be 265, 260, 70, you're going to get 275, you're going to get 280, 285, 85, 85, and 90, you're going to get 295, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, you're going to get 95, 295, and half 3, you're going to get 3, and 95, you're going to get 3, you're going to be 95, you're going to get 3, you're going to be 95, you're going to get 3, tub, 295, 19X. All right, right there, here, 320, 325, and 25, yeah, 325, and 25, 25, 25, 25, and 25 here, 320, 320, 320, 310, and 310 a pound, 310, 310, 310, 310, 310, 310, $3, and now 5, and 305, 5, now 5 here, going to be 305, and 305, $5, here, Pope, $3, 85. 150 days wean on these two steers. $3. 310 20 and 310 20 30 we get 30 and 5 40 345 345 345 50 and 350 and 5 and 55 60 365 360 70 375 370 80 5 85 90 390 395 395 $4 a pound 395 to get 4 95 to get 4 Jason 395 70. Sherrill cattle guys out there at Tuttle. 350 pound, 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 355, 63, 60, 73, 70, we get 3, 80, we get 3, 90, go to 3, 80, 90, and now 80, 90, we get 3, 90, 90, and 3, 80, you get 90, 30, we get 90, go to 3, 80, we get 90, go to 80, we get 90 here, Poke, 380, 32. 32. Old Sherrill cattle from Tuttle. Tuttle. 350. 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 350, 330, and 335, 45, 45, 45, 50, and 55, 55, 60, 360, 365, 365, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 365, and 65 and half, 565 and half, 5 here west, 360, 16X. Sherrill Booze. 350. 350 and 5, 55, you get 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 355, and 55, you get 55, you get 55 and half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, you get 55 and half, 55 here, Pope, 350 on number 3. No. 160 days wean, guys. Here's a shook cattle. 320. 325, and 325, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 325, and 35, and 35, and 40, we get 3, 40, we get 5, 50, we get 3, 55, and now 65, and 60, 70, we get 3, 75, 375, 80, we get 3, 80, we get 3, 80, we get 3, 75, 80, and 375, 80 here, going to be 80 here, now Tubby, 375 on 16X. Cotton cattle guys, here are some good open heifers. $3, half 5, and $3.05, we get 5, 5, 3, we get 3.5, go to 305, and 305, we get $5, and half 5, 5, we get 5, we get about $3.30, we get 3, we get 3, we get 3, go to 3, we get 3 and a half, 3 here, 275, and 275, 80, and 285, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, and 90, we get 2, 95, and 95, and 95, jet up here, and half 3, we get 3, you're out up here, 3, and 95, and 3, we get 3, and 95, we get 3, go to 95, we get 3, and 95, we get 3 here, tub, 295 on number 17X, 27X. Here's a Dockery heifers, guys, here out there at Shawnee. They're guaranteed open. $3, 2.5, and 3 2, and a hand, 2.5, to get 2.5, going to be 3 2.5, going to be 2.5, going to be 2.5, to get 250, and 3 2.5 and 5, to get 305, going to be 7.5, going to be 3 750, and 7 hand, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, going to be 750, and now 10, and now 10, going to be 10 and 12 and 5, going to be 10 and 12 and 5, going to be 10 and 12 and 5, going to be 10, 12 50, and 3 10 and 12 and 5, going to be 10, to get 12 and 5, going to be 10, to get 12 and 5 here, Tubby, 3 10, 18x, 28x, 28x. Big and good, good and big. Mike Crane, cattle guys, low Cuba, they're guaranteed open. 250. Mike Crane. $2. 2.5. 2.5 and 2.5. It'll get $5 5 and 5. It'll get 5 and 5 here. Going to be 205. You can get you a load of these cattle this size today, guys. Heifers, yep. 205. All black and all good. Get you a load of them. 210, 15, 20, 225, 230, and 235. It'll get 35, 40, and 245. Going to be 245. Going to be 250, and 250 and 5, and 55. Going to be 260. It'll get 265, and 270. It'll get 275, and 275. Going to be 280, 280, 280, 280, 85, 85, 90. It'll get 290. Going to be 290. It'll get 290. It'll get 290. Going to be 285, 90, 85 and 90. It'll get 290, 285, 90 here. Tub 285 on number 29, but I'm on number 19. X. Here's a toner cattle guys up there at Woodward. Feeder cell is on. Guess it's been on. 325, 25, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 3 1/4, and 325 and 5, going to be 325 and 5 here, going to 325, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, long year and high, 325, and 25 here, going to be 325 here, 325, 325, yes, sir. Hold that one that's coughing. Hold that last one right there. Bring them back. Hold that old sorry red one. How many? Got a swollen jaw. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the Davis cattle guys. They've had 2 rounds of shots. No implants. Have been right off the grass. Wolf City. Jake Davis. Checked open. 350, half 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, going to be 70, 55, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 375, and 380, 383, 80, 80, and 380, 380, 75, going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, there you're going to be 85, you give 85, going to be 85, you give 85, going to be 85 here, Tubby, 380, 16. Both the Davis guys, they're forever weaned. Wolf City. Blocks and chars. Nice cattle, Jake. Checked open. They are nice, Jace. 325, and 25, 30, and 25, to get 3, 30, 25, to get 30, hand, 25, going to be 3, 30, to get 30, to get 30, hand, 25, to get 30, 25, 750, and 27 and a hand, 7 and a hand, 7 and a hand, 7 and a half, 30, to get 3, 32 and a half, to get 2 and a half, to get 5, and 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, going to be 3, 40, 40, 40, and a half, 40, and 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, to get 45, 45, 45, 45, to get 5, and 45, there, to get 45, to get 45, to get 45, to get 47, 50, and 47 and a half, going to be 3, 52 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, to get 2 and a half, to get 5, and 55, 55, 3, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 55 here, Tubby, 352 and a half on number 27. Billy Jessen cattle guys right there. You're going to be Todd Jessen. All these cattle have been checked open. $3 bid. Half 3. Half 2.5. 32.5. Here. Half and a half. 2.5. 2.5. Outside. 250. And 3. 2.5. Bid 2.5. Good bid 2.5. Bid 250. And 3. 2.5. 2.5. And 5. Bid 5. Bid 5. And 5 here. 305. And 305. And 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 10. And 3 and 10 here. Good bid 10. 10. 12.50. And 13. 12 of the man. Good bid 10 and 12 of the man. Good bid 10 and 12 of the man. Good bid 15. And 15. 50. Bid 50. Bid 50. Bid 15. And 12 of the man. Good bid 315. And 12 of the man. Good bid 350. Bid 50. Bid 15. 15 here. So 312.5 on number 19. Put them on tub 19. SGR cattle guys. SGR. Pretty good weights, guys. Rather little exotic heavies right there here. 325 and 25. And 25 and 25, 25, 25, 25 and 30. And 25, 27 and 7 and 7 and 30. We get 30, not 2.5. Going to be 2.5, 5. And 35 and 40. We get 3, 40, 3, 45, 45, 45, 2.5. And 40, not 2.5. Going to be 42 and a half, 5. And 45, 40, 50. And 3, 55, 55, 55, 50, 60. And 3, 60. We get 3, 60. Going to be 3, 55, 60. And 3, 65. And 65, and 65, 70. We get 3, 70. We get 3, 70. We get 3, 70. And 65, 73, going to be 70, 73, going to get 70, going to get 70 tub. 365 on 16. Bigger sisters right there here, 320. 325, 25, and 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 3 1/4, and 325, going to be 325 here, 25, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 30, and 30, going to get 30, and 2.5, going to be 2.5, 5, and 35, 35, 35, GK5 here, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, going to be 37 to 40, and 40, that 2.5, going to be 2.5, going to get 5, and 45 here, 45, both out, 45, and 45, 47 to 5, 47 to 5, now 50, and 350, going to get 350, going to get 350, now 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, going to get 57 to 5, 50 here, going to be 50 here, going to be 50, sold them, 340, 7.5, tub, 16. Here's a Busher cattle, Dennis. Kevin Busher, Winters, Texas, guys. Be loaded them, 60 of them. Is that the Rock and G that's coming in next? These APOs. These APOs. GTO. Busher cattle guys are guaranteed open. All right. You talking to him? Talk to him. Hello. All right, right there, 320, and 320, and 20, 20, 320, and 20, 23, 20, 20, 320, and 320, 320, 310, and 310, 11, and 310, 11, 310, 11, 11, 310, 11, here, now 310, 11, 310, 11, and 310, 11, here, now 11, 11, 310, 11, here, $3, now 1, and 3 now 1, here, 1, 2, 2, 33, and 3, 4, 5, and now 5, 600, and 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, here, 8, 9, here, 9, and 9, 10, here, 310, and 9, 10, 11, and 3, 11, going to get 3, 11, going to be 10, 11, going to be 3, 10, 11, and 3, 10, now 11, now 12, 11, 12, here, 11, going to be 12, and 13, going to get 13, and 13, 14, here, 14, going to get 40, 15, and 350, going to get 15, 16, and 16, there, going to be 17, and 17, going to get 17, going to be 17, going to be 17, and 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, and 17, going to get 17, going to be 17, going to be 17, tub, 316, 18, X, you want them pregged and preg. Thank you to the bushers. Who is it? Rockin' G, guys. Bo Cheetah. Be 45 of them.
All born in 24.
All these heifers were born in 2024. Nice deal. Who is Rockin' G?
Come on, girl. Go.
You guys want to make a cow out of these? Here's your opportunity. You guys want to make a feeder heifer out of them? Here's your opportunity.
I got a bull for you, John. Good. Remember the brown I bought yesterday with the little horn?
The brown with the horns, he'll get them all done in 24 hours.
2 days. 2 days.
2 days. Guys, here at Stick Out Set of Gals, Rockin' G, Bo Cheetah.
Pretty fancy.
They're all checked open. 275, yeah, 275 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 275, 80, and 280, we get 280, we get 275, 80, and 282, 80, 85, 85, 85, 85, and 90, we get 295, and 95, and 95, we get 95, and 3, we get 3, and 3, we get 3, and 95, we get 3, and 95, we get 3, and 95, we get $3, and 95, and 3, we get 3, we get 3, we get 95, we get 3, we get 95, we get $3, and 95, we get 3, we get 3, we get 95, we get 3, 95, 3 here, Varner, 295 on number 8. Thank you to the Rockin' G's. Let's go to Decatur. Monty Reed, below to these heifers. Monty Reed. Hope not. He is kind of quiet. I'll sneeze all morning. Monty Reed, guys. Heifers are checked open. 310, 11, yeah, 310, 11, 310, 11, 310, 11, 11, 11, 11, 310, 11, 11, 11, 310, 11, 310, 10, 10, 10, 310, good to be 310, good to be 310, $3, now 1, and 3, now 1, here, now 1, have 1, 2, good to be 2, we get 3, we get 3, we get 4, now 5, now 6, and $6, and now 5, good to be 6, 7, and 7, now, hey, good to be 3, hey, good to be 3, oh, 9, good to be 9, 10, good to be 3, 9, 10, 11, and 3, 11, 12, 11, 12, and 13, we get 13, we get 14, we get 14, we get 15, and 350, 15, and 14, and 15, we get 15, we get 14, going to be 15, and 315, we get 15, we get 15, going to be 14, we get 15, going to be 14, we get $15, 15 here, Tubby, 314, 27. All right, guys, going to be 350 head of these heifers, guys, from Lewisburg. Here's going to be the first 77, been on grass all summer long. These heifers have been all checked open. Here's the first 77, Lewisburg. No, it's Monty Reed's. Last one's. Yeah, lots of condition, guys. They're thin condition, and they're checked open. And no balling, no milk on their breath. 350, now 5, and 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, you get 5, 355, and 55, and 55 here, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 350, and 350, now 350, even get 350, even get 350, hold your gate now here, 325, 30, and 25, 30, and 25, and 30, and 5, and 35, 35, 35, and 40, 45, and 45, you get 45, 50, and 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 63, 63, 63, 63, 60, and 360, you're out of line, 360, and 55, going to be 60, now 5, and now 70, going to get 3, 75, and 75 here, 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 80, and 380, and 77 and a half, 80, and 380, going to get 380, going to be 80, going to get 380, 80 down, 380, you give 80, and 380, going to be 380, going to get 380, going to get 380, going to be 380, and now 80 there, going to be 80, you give 80, 380, now 80, West, you're out, 380, Tubby, 377 and a half on number 15.
Yesterday.
Be 209 in the next offering. All these heifers have been checked open. The condition is out of this world. That's right. Get better as it get bigger. Y'all gonna black. That's right. If you'd have had them glasses on, you wouldn't run over that cow. Saw that. Probably. Yeah, he was the natural, wasn't it? The natural, yep. I called him Patches yesterday. Patches O'Houlihan off dodge a ball. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball. This money pot lid? Nope. Guys are pretty predominantly black. Conditions out of this world. This head of cattle been on the grass all summer long. Fredericksburg, is that where you said? Lewisburg. Close. Arkansas. Or some of us say Arkansas. Arkansas. Iries. However you want to pronounce it. Yeah. Well, I got the working clothes on for you, gentlemen. Big deal today, heifer deal? Big heifer deal today. Oh, there's one bigger? All right. 320, half time, 320, and 320, and 321, and 20, and 21, 21, 21, and 323, going to be 21, 21, 21, half one, and 320, going to get 320, half one, and 21, 21, 21, 22 and a half, and 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 730, and 330, and 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 332, 5, and 335, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and a 40, and 340, and 2 and a half, going to be 40, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, and 350, now 50, and 350, going to get 50, going to get 50, now 53, 50, and 350, going to get 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, now 50, 350, and 350, going to get 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, now half, sold them, 347 and a half, Tubby on number 14. Exotics coming. You sort them. Hey, little summertime girls. Be 51 of them. George tore the little crosses off. 320, 320, and 320, and 320, going to be 320, and 20, 20, 20, 20, 320, and 20, going to get 320, going to get 320, going to be 20, going to be 20, going to be 20, going to be 20, 320, and 320, going to get 320, going to be 20, $3. Now 5, 305, 310, 310, 315, 320, now 5, 325, 30, 330, going to get 30, now 35, 335, and 335, 40, and half 40, going to get 340, going to get 335, 47, 50, and 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7, 337 and a half, 337, 40, now 40, 340, and half 40, West out, 340, now 2 and a half, and now 5, going to get 45, 45, 45, 45, and 45 and 5, here you're going to be 45, going to get 5, 45, you get 5, 45, going to get 5, 45, going to get 5, and 45, going to get 45, going to get 45, going to get 45, going to be 5 here, sold, 342 and a half on number 14. Here's a Thompson cattle guy. Is going to be 55 here in 27. Right behind him, Colt Thompson. Reputation set of gals. Yes, he does. Right there, going to be Colt Thompson down there in Waco. Waco, boys, out there, here, 350, half 5, and 55, checked open, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 355, and 55, 65, and to get 5, and half 70, we get 3, 70, we get 3, 65, 70, and 370, we get 3, 70, going to be 75 here, 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 80, and 380, we get 380, and 75, going to be 380, we get 380, we get 380, going to be 75, 80, and 375, going to be 80, we get 380, now 75, going to be 80, now 80 here, top, 375. 16. Better than a team penning? Yeah. Better than a team penning, guys. Yeah. Crowd spreads off the deal. 320, 2 and a half, and 320, we get 2 and a half, going to be 320, not 2 and a half, going to be 320, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, going to be 2250, and 322, and a half 5, and 25, and 25, and half 7 and a half, 7 and 30, we get 330, we get 2 and a half, and half 5, and 35, 37 and 37 and 37 and going to be 340, and 40, 40, 40, not 2 and a half, going to be 40, we get 2 and a half, going to be 5, and 45 here, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 47, 50, and 40, we get 7 and a half, going to be 40, we get 7 and a half, going to be 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 47, going to be half. Tub 345, 16. Thank you, Cole. You got his number? Yeah. Let's go to Vanita, guys. Here's a nail cattle. I've been selling these cattle with us the last month or so. All these heifers were preg checked at the ranch. Monty Nail. Up there at Veneta, guys, be 67 head of Monties this week. Man runs pretty nice stock, guys. Really, really nice efforts. Hello, Doug. Right off the grass up here at Veneta. No implants. There's a nice load of cattle, guys. Monty does it right. Runs good stock. And the black right there here, 320 and 320 and 20 23, going to be 322 and a half, and 2250 and 20 52 and a half, going to be 22 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 320 and 320, 3 22 and a half, 5 and 25, going to be 7 and a half, now 30 and now 32 and a half, going to be 30 now 2 and a half, going to be 31 and 30 here, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 331 and 331, going to get 31, going to get 331, going to be 331 and 331. I got 30, that one and 31 here, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, going to get 331, going to get 331, going to be 1. 331, going to be 331. You get one. Tubby, 330. 17 chase on 17. You betcha. Thanks, Monty. Believe you guys' partnership cattle coming in next. Hang on, Lid. Hang on. Tell them to hold those up. Let them roll. I think he was too. So I think he was too. Here's going to be 271 head of the Sherritt cattle, guys. I bring that same vicinity up there. Veneta. 271 Sherricks. Guy been on 271 head of these Sherritt cattle, guys. Right off the grass up there at Veneta. Big string of heifers of the day, guys. Been on 271 of them.
Now they got 250 or 553 down twice. One for Casey grazing, one for Alligator Creek. No, they moved them at the vet. They changed the pin number somehow.
Money pot should be trotting in. Here we go.
Leave her on there.
Pretty nice cattle. The Sherrick consignment, guys. 225. Yeah, 225. 25 5 here. 5 here. 225 here. 5 5 here. Going to be 2 1/4. And 225. And 225 5 7 and 7 and 750. And 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and going to be 227 and a half. And 227 30. And 30. We get 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. We get 2 and a 5. And 35 here. 37 and 37 and 37 and 37 and 37 and 40. And half 40. And 1. And 40 41. We get 41. We get 41. We get 41. 41. And 40 41. We get 41. We get 41. 2 3 41. And 342 and 42, going to be 2, 3, and 43, we get 43, we get 43, we get 3, 43, we get 3, 43, we get 3, 42, and half 3, and 42, 3, and 42, and 3, 42, we get 3, 42, going to be 3, we get 3, 43, we get 3, 43, we get 3, 4, and 44, and 43, 50, 43 and a half, 43 and a half, 43, 50, and 43 and a half, going to be 43 and a half, we get 43 and a half, we get 43 and a half here, so number 3, 43, West 17, West 17.
Thank you. Listen, employee looks like Dwayne.
Yep. Thank you to the sheriff. Here's a pretty sweet set of cattle coming in, guys, from Fairfield, Texas. Hill and Tony. Yard them out. Hill and Tony cattle, guys.
I don't know. We just sold them 744.
335 and 335 and 35, 35, 35, 35, 335 and 335, we get 335, we get 335, we get 335, we get 335 and 335 and 335, 37 and 35, 37, 50 and 337 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and going to be 337, 50 and 337 and going to be 37, 50 and 37 and going to be 37 and going to be 7 and 7 and 7 and going to be 337 and a half here, Tub. 335 on 27. Sir. Yes, sir. What are you talking about, fall? Prices? What? Hold one. Casey Cattle Gas, Terrell, Texas. Hold one. Checked open. Hold one cattle here. 325. And 25, hit 25, and 25, 27, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 27, 50, and 20, we get 7, and going to be 20, and 7, and 7, and 30, we get 30, then 2, and going to be 2, and 5, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, and 30, 37 and a half, and 337, and a half, and 40, we get 3, 40, 40, 40, we get 40, we get 42 and a half, and 40, we get 2, and going to be 41, and 40, 41, we get 41, we get 41, 41, and 40, 41, we get 41, we get 41, we get 41, we get 40. Now, I don't know anything about them on the weaning. Do you? Don't know. 341. 341 and 41. Whole load of them, Jason said. Steers and heifers, guys. 341 and 40, 41. We get 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 41. Here, poke. 340. 64. Yard about. Huge.
I had no Monday or some day. Hello. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Colby said let him go. Bluffdale, Texas, Bono cattle. These heifers are checked open as well. $3, half five, and 3.5. We get $5, $3, we get $3, we get $3, $3, we get $3, and 305, and 305, we get 305, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5 here, 305, and 305, we get $5, and half 5, we get 3. One little sway back should be on there. 275, 280, 275, 280, and 275, go to 280, 75, go to 280, and 275, go to 280, we get 280, we get 280 tub, 275, 28. I don't know if he's hollering at me or the cattle. Hodges, cattle, Gary Reed. Hodges. He busy. 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and 355, 60 there, 65, 70, and 375, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, yes sir, 75, and 75 here, 75 there, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, west, 370 on number 16. 16. Hodges again, guys, right there. They are checked up on 350. 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 57, 50, and 50, 7, 50, 57, going to be 50, 7, 7, 7, 57, 60, and 360, and 360, going to be 360 out up here, and now 2.5, and 2.5, going to get 2.5, 2.5, going to get 2.5, going to be 2.5, and 360, 2.5, bit of 2.5, going to be 2.5, going to get 2.5 here west, 360 same way, 16. Thinking of the Hodges, here's 2 drops of the alligators. Have been. Less swampy. 310, 11, yeah, 310, 11, 310, 11, 310, 11, 11, 11, 11, 310, 11, 310, 11, and 310, 11, 11, 11, 311, we get 311, we get 310, 11, and down 12, and 12, and 13, we get 13, we get 14, we get 15, 16, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, we get 19, 19, we get 19, and 19 over here, poke 19, and 19, 19, we get 19, 19, we get 19, 19, we get 19 here, 19, to be 318 on number 28. Three ten 11, and 310 11, 310 11, 11, 310 11, and 310 11, 310 11, 9 11, 9 11, 311, going to be 311 12, and 13, going to get 14, going to get 15, going to be 16, going to be 17, 17, and 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, going to get 17, 17, going to get 17, going to be 17, going to be 17. Sold them 316, same way, 28. Think of the Gators. Double V cattle guys had the light ones yesterday. Long wean guys are long time wean. They're already checked open. They've had 2 rounds of all the shots. 330, 2.5, and 330, we get 2.5, going to be 330, 2.5, we get 2.5, going to be 330, and 32.5, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 40, and 340, 40, 40, we get 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 40 west, 337.5, 16 on 17. These cattle ought to be pretty nice. They always are. Mark Nightingale down there at Chickasha area. They are checked open. $3, 2.5, 3 2, and a 2.5, get 2.5, go to 3 2.5, go to 2.5, get 2.5, go to 3 2.5, and $3, 3, get 3, get 3, go to 3, get 3, go to 3, 2.5, go to 2.5, get 2.55, and half 5, get 5, 7.5, and half 10, go to 3 10, go to 3 10, go to 3 10, bit of a 10, 3 10, and half 10, go to 10, go to 10, 3 10, 3 10, 3 10, 3 10, half 10, 11, and 3 11, and 12, 11, 12, 11, go to 12 11, get 12 11, get 12 11, 12, 11, 12, and 13, and 13, get 13, 14, get 14, get 14, and 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, and 14, 13, 14, so 3, 13, Tubby, 19. Went from 5 to 1?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, last name. Caldwell. Went from 5 to 1. Caldwell. Rest of them are bred. $3. 305, and 35, get 5, get 5, get 5, get 5, get 305, go to 305, what about you? 305, and 305, get 5, 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 Jason, $3, 6. Express yourself. $1.50. We got more heifers coming. $1.50, got it. $1.55. $1.55. Expressway. Sold $1.50. Still yapping. A little bit lame. $1.50. $1.50. $1.55. 55. And 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. Same way. 150. Nope. 106. Hey, it's going good. Let me call you back here in just a little bit. Let me get through this. All right, give me about an hour or so. Okay, all right, see you. Bye. All aboard. 250. 255, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 250, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, poke you in, 255, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, Terry, 250 on 7. She's 2 months bred. $2. 210, 210, 20, 210, 20, and 220, 30, we get 2, 30, we get 2, 40, we get 30, 40, we get 30, 40, and 230, 40, we get 40, we get 40, we get 40, we get 40, 230, 40 here, Terry, 230, 7. Odds looks like the drafts today. Real good. Aborted. Aborted. 250. 250, 60, and 250, 60, you're going to be 270, you're going to get 280, you're going to get 290, you're going to get 293, and 90, you're going to get 3, you're going to be 90, you're going to get 3, you're going to be 90, you're going to get 3, now 5, 305, 305, 305, Jason, $3, 6. They're 3 to 5 months bred, belong to Mr. Caldwell. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 55 here, 55, 55, 55, 55, you get 55, you get 5, you get 5, you get 5, you get 5 here, now 55 here, poke 250 on number 127. There's some alligator breds. 5 months. 250. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got plenty of time. Sell the 2 crosses. Can you tell me how far bred they are? 6 and 7 months on the crosses. 250 on the red and white one. 250. 255. Mike, you bidding? 255, just practicing. Arthritis. 255. 255. Poke 250. 129. Good job, Gary. Whistle at him, Bob. 5 months bred. She is a good one. 275. 275. Yeah, 275, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 250. 255. 255. 255 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 255, 255 here, $2. Should have left her on there. 210, 220, 230, 240, 230, 40. 230, 40. Poke 230. 17. 5 months. Okay. Yeah. Please. Six months. 6 months bred. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 225, 30, and 25, 232, 32, 25, 30, 25, 230, and 25, 230, 25, 230, 25, 230, want her, 225, 30, and 25, 30, 6 months, 230, 225, 230, 25, 230, now 5, 235, 40, 240, Terry, 235, 4. 5 months bred, 225. 225, 30, and 25, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, you give 5 here, 35, Terry, yeah, 35, and 35, 35, 235, 40, 245, and 45, 45, you give 5, 45, 5, 45, 5, 245, 5 here, 45, 5 here, poke, 240 on number 17. And you can pin them with the 129s. No. Here is wet truck. No implants. These cattle guys been out on the grass, had a few little mineral out there with them. Give him a shot of Ludalace 90 days ago. We'll guarantee him open. 335, and 335, and 35, 35, 35, 5, and 335, 35 here, 35 there, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 40, and 340, we get 3, 42 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 5, and 45, 47, 47, 47, 50, and 50 down 2 and a half, we get 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 5, and 55, 55, 7, 57, 57, 57, 57, 50, and 55, 6, and 55, 56 here, 55, 56, 55, 56, and 55, going to be $6, going to be 55, going to be 6, tub 355 on 16X, just 16, No preg. Here's Raymond's. Here's the grandkids' cattle. 355. 355, 60, and 55, 360, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55. Handle the same way, guys. 55, 60, and 55, 63, 55, 63, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and 360, 360, 360, tub your out, 360, poke, 355, 64, X, preg. They had that same deal. You want them checked? Have them checked. X and preg. Same way, guys. 350, now 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 350, and 350, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 330, and 330, 32 and a half, and 332 and a half, 5, and 335, 37 and 37 and going to be 340, and 40, 40, 40, you get 40, and 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, you get 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45 here, 45 here, 45, you get 5 here, 45 here, Tubby, 340, 2 and a half, 16. 330, 2 and a half, and 330, you get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, 330, 2 and a half, 5, and 335, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, now 5, and 335, you get 335, you get 335, going to be 30, huh? I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. You got a steer and 3 heifer, 335, 337 and a half, 337 and a half, Tubby, 335, 17. Thank you, guys. Back to the breads. 5 months, 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 265, and 55, now 5, Warner, 260, 117, 129. All aborts. All aborted. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 260, 260, 265, and 65, 70, 270, 270, 270, 70, and 270, 25, and 75, 275 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, you bid, 275, and 275, 275, 75 here, 75 here, 75, and tone, 270. I'll just make it damn sure. Two breads. 6 months bread, 250. Now 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, poke, 250, 129. I got my ass ate out the other day for letting the damn dogs out. And this is this morning. It ain't my fault. I mean, it almost cost divorce. It was so bad. 3 months. 3 and 4 months, Brad. 250. 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, poke, 250. 17. Keep those two separate. Okay. Keep those two separate. those two separate. 29s. Okay. We'll turn them out, Kev them out. Well, just throw them all together, and Pokey can go sort them after the sale. Just throw them all together. Just throw them all together. All right, here's two reds. Two crippleds. Oh, those are those two we held. Weezer and a knot. $2. Dollar. 110, 20, and 20, 30, $40, $50, $60, 70, you're going to be 160, 70, and 60, 70, you're going to get 70, you're going to be 60, 70, you're going to get 70, 60, 70, you're going to get 70, sold 160, Terry, 9. P.O., these? No. Oh, this is the rest of the deal. Yeah, they brought the worst ones first. That's right. That makes sense. $3. $3 now three. Yeah, three. Gonna get 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 three. $3 and $3 and have three. Gonna be three. Gonna get three. Gonna be three. Gonna get three. Gonna be three. Gonna get three. 275. Gonna be 280. 75. Gonna be 280 and 75. 80 and 75. Gonna be 275. 80. 75. Gonna be 285. 85 here. Gonna be 85. 85. 85 out of here. 285. 285. 285. 285 here. Poke. 280. 170. Throw them all together. Pin those in the same alley.
They don't cover the 127 yet? Why are they counting? Why are they counting? Anybody can give do that.
Can they said, Pokey said, can you pin those in the same alley? Those 170s, yeah. So he's going to do some sorting after the sale. Okay. Thank you. It's always on a short sale.
I know.
Here's Shooks. Weaned 160 days. 350, now 5, yeah, 355, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55 here, 355, 55, 55, you got 50, now 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 355, and 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, poke, 350, 69. How many steers you got, 2,000? Matheson cattle from down at Minko. Matheson, down Minko. Matheson Farms. 330, 2.5, 330, 2.5, bit of 2.5, going to be 330, bit of 2.5, 5, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, and 335, bit of 335, bit of 335, bit of 335, bit of 5, bit of 5, bit of 5, bit of 5, 335 here, Pope, 332.5, 75. Jim Horde, cattle, 330, 335, and 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, and 335, bit of 335, bit of 335, 5, and 335, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, bit of 335 here, Poke, 330, 75. Switchgrass cattle guys up there at Edmond. They're long weaned, 2 rounds. Switchgrass. 350, 2.5, and 52.5, and 52.5, bit of 2.5, and 55, 57, 7, 7, 57, 57, 57, 57, 57, 50, and 57, 7, 7, 7, 50, 60, and 360, bit of 2.5, good to be 2.5, and 2.5, bit of 2.5, good to be 62, 50, and 2.5, 5, and 5, and 5, 7, 73, 70, 2.5, 72, 50, and 70, bit of 2.5, good to be 70, bit of 2.5 here, West, 370, 65. Here's a lead cattle guys from Boswell. They're usually here. Jan Lee down there at Boswell guys, 150 days. At least, looks like it. 320, 2.5, and 20, bit of 2.5, going to be 22.5, and 20, that 2.5, going to be 22.50, and 320, bit of 2.5, going to be 20, bit of 2.5, going to be 22.50, and 5, and 25, 27.5, 30, bit of 3, 30, that 2.5, going to be 2.5, bit of 5, and 35, 37.5, 37.5, 37.5, going to be 3, 37, 50, 40, and half, 40, 40, 2.5, bit of 2.5, 5, and 45, 45, 45, you get 5, and 45, bit of 45, 47.5, 47.5, 47.5, 47, 50, and 40, bit of 7.5, going to be 40, bit of 7.5, going to be 47.5. Here, Poke, 345, 81. Here's the Suns cattle, Joe Lee. Out of the same way, long winged. 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 7, 60, and 2.5, 2.5, 5, and now 7.5, now 70, 370, now 70, and 370, 70, 70, 70, now 70, and 370 pound, going to be 70 here. Poke, 367.5 on 69. Thought you quit me, Wes. My bad. Harry. Take the hairy one off. More Joes. They're a long wing guys down there at Boswell. 325, 25, 25, 25, 27, 7, 7, 7, 7, going to be 27, 50, and 20, 7, going to be 29, 7, 30, and 30, 3, 30, 30, you get 30, you get 30, time 1, and 31, 2, 31, 2, 33, 33, now 4 here, 34 to 5 here, 36, and 37, 38, and 37, going to be 9, now 30, going to be 9, going to be 38, 9, and 30, going to be 9, 30, going to be 9, going to get 9 here, so 338 T, 78, 338. Think of the leaves from down there at Boswell guys. Here's a Crosley cattle from OKC. Mr. Crosley, you here? Don't see him. 335. And 335. And 35, 35, 37, man, 35, 37, man, 37, man, 37, man, 37, man, 37 and a half. And 337, 50. And 335. And 337 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and going to be 337, 50. And 337 and 740. And 40, 40, 40, 40, going to be 40, bid 40. And 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, going to be 40, 40, 40 here. Tebby, 337 and a half on 7. Let's run to Pittsburgh, guys. Going to be several of these cattle, Jace. Sterling Ranches. Start your steer turn. Let's go, guys. About 160 of these cattle altogether. Be the first 57 coming in. They got? Can you give a little lace to a dog? What can you give her? I don't want no puppies. We're gonna leave them to Thanksgiving. By the time should be Kevin. Take dead animals to the vet. Not set of steers, guys. Sterling Ranches here. 350, not 5, and 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 50, not 5, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 355, and 350, not 5, and 50, not 5, 50, not 5, 50, not 5, 50, not 5, and 55. No cheaper, guys. 55, 60, 365, and Ziggy divide 365, 365, 2.5, 362 and a half, 5, 367 and a half, and 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 70, and 370, 370, 250. And 70, we get 2.5, going to be 70, we get 2.5, going to be 71. What about 1, Doug? 71, and 71, and 71, 2, and 71, 2, 72, 3, and 73, 73, 72, we get 3, down 2, we get 3, 72, 3, and 73, we get 3, 72, we get 3, 72, we get 3, 72, 3, and 72, 3, down 4, and 74, 74, 74, 74, 5, and 75 here, 75, 76, and 75, 76, 77, and 77, we get 77, we get 77, and 377, we get 7, going to be 77, going to be 7, going to be 7. So 376, Varner, 601, 701. A Hereford and a small gray. Hereford and a small gray. Here's going to be 105 of the next offering, guys. Starting ranches we're working on Pittsburgh, Oklahoma. Got another three-way. Yeah, I got to pee after that.
Yes, they are.
Condition just right. Grass cattle. Saw a few yesterday.
I'd say no.
Mighty pot lid. Here we go. Starting ranches. 335, and 335, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, and 35, 37, and 37, and 40, and 40, 40, 40, even to get 2.5, going to be 40, even to get 2.5, even to get 5, and 47, and 50, and 2.5, and 52, and 1/2, even to get 5, and 55, 55, 55, 7, and 57, and 57, and going to be 360, and half 60, even to get 2.5, going to be 2.5, even to get 5, and 5, and 7.5, and half 70, and 370, even to get 2.5, 5, and 75, 750, and 77, and 77, and half 80, even to get 3, 82.5, 82 and a half here, now 5, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 85 here, going to be 385, 87 and a half, 87 and a half here, 87 and a half, going to be 87.50, 87 and a half here, 87 and a half, going to be 87 and a half, going to be 87, going to be half, Hayes 385 on 7. Got 3 more of the Sterlings. Big boys, 320, 2.5, and 320, going to get 2.5, going to be 320, and 20 by 23, going to be 3, 20 and a half, 20, going to be 20, going to get 20, going to be 20, 320, and 22.5, and 320, going to get 2.5, going to be 20, going to get 2.5, 5, and 25, 25, 7.5, 7.5, 30, and half 30, going to get 2.5, going to be 32.5, going to be 332.5, 5, and 335, going to get 335 here, T, 332.5, 78. Think the Sterlings guys are going to be 129 head of the Howards. 129 going to be Wayman 3 drafts, Sutherland 1. I did 2. You know them Sterlings? How many got here, Led? Yeah, got cattle here today. Here we go, guys. Muddy pot. Here's a Howard's.
2 nice load steers now.
2 good pot loads of steers down at Ring-a-Ling. 325, 25, and 25, 27 and a half, and 27 and a half, 7 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 to 30, and half 30, even to get 2.5, 5, and 35, 37, and 37 to 40, and 40, 40, 40, even to get 2.5, going to be 2.5, even to get 2.5, 45, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, and 45, 3, 4, and 44, you get 44, 5, and 45, 600 here, 46, 7, and 47, 48 here, 9, 9, 9, 50, and 351, and 50,000 here, 2, 1, 2, bit of a 2, good 3, and 53, bit of 3, 4, and 54, 3, 54, 54, jigga 4, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, now 5, and 55, and 56, and 55, going to be 6 out of 30, 5, going to be 56 out of 55, 6, 7, and 57, half 7, and 57, now 7, and 7, 7, 7, and 7 and a half, and 57, 58, and now hey there, 58, now $8, and 58 and a half, going to be 8 and a half, jigga 8 and a half, going to be 9, and 9 and a half, 9 and a half, 9 and a half, going to down a half, going to be 60, and 3, 61, and zigga 1, 2, going to be 2, going to 3, going to 3 and a half, 3, half 3, going to 3 and a half, 3, 63 and a half, and 64, and zigga 4, zigga 4, zigga 4, zigga 4, zigga 4, zigga 4, 64, and 3 and a half, going to $4 and a half, 4, going to 4 and a half, there 4, and zigga 4 and a half, 4 here, Tubby, 3, 63 and a half on 75. Thank you to the Howards. Going to be 2 lows of these kind of guys. Here's Patrick Lukenhouse. This will be 122. Another set of grass cattle. Thank you. Still my fault.
Yes.
No, just 122 of them. Yeah, let's hold him. I think everybody's seen him. Yeah. Fuzzy yellow. Scimitar. Fuzzy scimitar. Hold one, guys. Little fuzzy yellow steer. 335, 335, 35, 37, 35, 37, 7, 37, 50, and 337 and a half, here and a half, here and a half, and 337 and a half, 7 and a half, 40, and 40, you get 2 and a half, 2 and a half, you get 2 and a half, what about 1, 41, and 41, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, you get 4, 4, you get 5, 5, 6, and 45, 6, and 46, 7, and 47, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 46, 7, and 47, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 46, 7, and you get 7, 47, $8, and 47, going to be 7 and a half, 8 here, 8 and a half, going to be 8 and a half, you get 9, and 9 here, 9 and a half, 50, and 50 hand, you get 51, and 51, half 1 here, 1 and a half here, 1 and a half, going to be 2, and hand 2, bit of a half here, going to be 2 and a half, you get 3, and 53 and a half, 53 and a half, 54, and 54 and a half, 54 and a half, 54 and a half, 5, and 55, you get 5, 55 and a half, 5, and 55 and a half, 55 and a half, 55 and a half, 6, and 55 and a half, 56 here, 5 and a half, going to be 6 and a half, and 56 and a half, 7, and 57 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and now 7, and 57 here, going to be 7, 7, now 7, and 57 here, going to be 7, going to be 7 here, going to be 7 here, sold 3, 56 and a half, Tubby 75, yard him out. Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Here is Charles Graham's. 3 loads? 4 loads? 3 loads? Fuzzy Simmental. Apricot Charlotte. Apricot Simmental. Guys, be 127 of Charles this first draft. Little handy weight cattle. A little reputation and handy weight cattle, guys. Here's Charlie Graham's. Reputation cattle. Should be feed man's down. Should be the feed man's down. On the last deal, look for Twisted Neck Charlet. Did Colt go? Nice cattle, Charlie. A little handy weight cattle. Yeah, you're right. Pretty nice cattle, Charlie. Right there, here. 350, have one. 51. 50, 51. 50, 50, I'm on here. I'm on here. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, now 6, 7. 57, $8. 57, 7, 57, 9, 60. It's 60 there. Going to be 60. And 9 here's 1. And 1, 2, now 2, 2, 3, and 2, 3, and 2, 3, and 62, 3, and 2, 3. Going to be 2 and a half, and 2 and a half. Going to be 250, and 2 and a half. 2 and a half. Going to be 62 and a half, and 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half. Going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 62, going to be half. Sold 362, Kyle 7. Bigger Bros. Bigger Bros, guys, going to be the next end of Charles. 67 more. Blacks and Shores. Shores on the big end. Bigger version, that's right. The bigger, badder version. 320, hit 20, and 20 by 23, going to be 20 by 20, not 20, and 320, to get 320, going to be 21, and 21, 21, 21, 2, 1, 2, 21, 2, 21, 2, 21, 2, and hand 2, 21, get 2, 3, and 23, and 22, 3, going to be 20, to get 3, going to be 20, to get 3, going to be 20, to get 3, going to be 23, half 3, and 23, 50, and 3 and a half, to get 3 and a half, 4, and 24, 24, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, you get 5, and 25, 25, 55 and a half, 5 and a half, 600, and 5 and a half, going to be 6 and a half, to get 6 and a half, going to be 650, yes, 6 and a half here, half here, bit of a half here, going to be 650, and 26 and a half here, half here, bit of a half here, going to be 26 and a half, 26 and a half, going to be 26 and a half here now, half here, half. Kyle, 326 on number 9. Thank you, Charles. Going to be 2 pot loads of the Brewer steers. Stuart. $92. Did you hear that, Lid? He had some here last week. Reload it. Hogan's kind of late at 331. Over 326. 5 cheaper. 5 cheap. 5, 10 cheaper. Money pot lid. Nope. Got one more. Working on the Brewers. Another reputation. Mm-hmm. Brewer time, guys, right there, 350, that one, 51, 50, 51, 50, 50, that one, here, that one, here, that one, here, 351, 51, 50, 51, here, 51, 51, 51, outside one, 51, 50, that one, here, 2, 1, 2, 2, 51, 2, 52, 3, 52, 3, 4, here, 4, 54, 54, 54, 53, 4, 53, 54, 53, 4, 53, 4, 53, 4, half, 4, 54 and a half, 54 and a half, you get 54 and a half, you get 54 and a half, 54 and a half, 54, 50, 54 and a half, 4 and a half, you get 4 and a half, 54 and a half, 54, 50, 50, you get 4 and a half, going to be 54 and a half, you get 54 and a half, 54 and a half, 54, going to be half, sold them 354, Tubby 75. Thank you, Greg. Here's those steers that come with all those heavy guys from Lewisburg. They're Arkansas. Been on the grass all summer long, guys. Be too dry to these cattle.
How far back are they?
Put them on the next deal. Sell these.
No.
Oh. Here's some cheermats. All them heifers we sold earlier. Been on the grass. Lewisburg. 335 and 335 and 35 35 35 35 35 35 35 and 35 and 335 and 335 here 5 here 335 and 335 and 30 30 and 30 and 3 30 and 3 30 and 3 30 and 30 and 30 and 30 and 30 20 and 22 and a half 5 and 25 25 25 24 5 and 25 25 6 25 going to be 6 7 and 27 going to be 28 27 of 8 27 of 8 9 and 30 31 and 30 here 31 31 2 31 2 31 2 3 and 33, we get 33, 3, 4, and 34, 34, 5, 35, 35, 6 here, 35, going to be 6, 7, and 37, we get 37, going to be 6, 7, and 37, and 7, 7, 6, 7, and 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7 here, going to be 26, 7 here, going to be 36, 7, and 36, 7 here, so 336, put them on tub 7. $32 more crossbreds, Jay. Sure is. All right, out here, 320, and 320, mid 20, and 320, we get 320, going to be 20, going to be 20, mid 20, 320, and 320, we get 320, going to be 20, going to be 20, $3, and 2 and a half, and 3 2 and a half, going to be 5, we get 7 and a half, going to be 3, 7 and a half, 310, and 310, 12 and a half, going to be 10, 12 and a half, going to be 10, 12 and a half, going to be 10, 12 and a half, 15, and 15, 15, we get 15, we get 15, 17 and a half, 17, 57, 20, and 320, going to be 20, 320, going to be 20, going to be 20, 320, and 320, going to be 20, we get 20, going to be 20, 320, and now 20, going to be 20, we get 20, going to be 20, going to be 20, Tubby, 317 and a half on 7. Move them. You just looking at them? Yeah, okay. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Tommy. Good job, Dad. Been yapping all day long till it's time to yap at him. Then he'd be quiet. Okay. Who's this KC Grazing? Are they, come out of Terrell, Texas, guys. Right there, going to be KC Grazing cattle. Pretty good cattle coming in, Jay. KC Grazing cattle, guys. Terrell, Texas. Pretty nice cattle. 350, 2 and a half, 2 and a half and a half here, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 51, and 51, and 51, outside 1, and 51, 2, now 3, 53, 54, 54, jig of 5, and 55, 57, 57, 57, 60, and now 60, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and zig of 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, and 370, going to get 70, 370, going to get 70, 70, 70, and 370, going to be 70, and 370, going to get 70, going to be 70, going to get 70, going to be 70, going to get 370, and now 70, 70, going to be 70, now 71, and 72, and 71, 2, 71, 2, 72, 71, going to be 2, 71, 2, and 72, going to get 2, 71, going to be 2, West, 371 on number 65. saw Amy walk in. Thought I saw Amy Brewer walk in. Thank you to them guys from Terrell. Let's go to Creole Farms. Everything. Change their program up, Jace. Here's considerably. Here's the Creoles. Made them all black. All black. Does look like a calf crop. Got it all summer. Kind of throughout all summer. No, they don't. You do remember right. Here's a nice set of cattle guys. Here's a Creole consignment. Got that. Well, ultra black. All right, gentlemen, here 355, 55, 55, 55, 75, 57, 57, 60, and 362 and a half, and 2 and a half, 2 and a 5, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, 3, 72 and a half, 72, 50, and 75, and 75, 7 and a half, 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 750 and a half, 750, and 377 and a half, and 377 and a half, going to be 77 and a half, here going to be 6, 7, and 77, $8, and 78, 78, 78, 78, 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, 80, and 380, you give 80, and 380, we get 389, 89, 80, and 380, we get 39, 89, here 80, and 380, we get 380, Doug would have been 380, 380, 379, going to be 80, West 379, 65. Thank you to the Creoles. Alligator cattle, Dad. Yeah, leave that corn is right. Exotics right here, 350. 351, 50, 50, 51, have on here, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 50, have on here, not one here, not one here, 351, 50, 51 here, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 350, and 350, and 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 40, and 41, 2, and 41, 2, 3, 4, 44, 43, jiggy 4, and 44, 44, half 4, and 44, 44, jiggy 4 and a half, 44 and a half, 44, 50 and a half, 5, and 45, we get 45, we get 45, we get 45, we get 5 here, 45, 50, and 45 of the man, 45 of the man, 600, and 45 of the man, going to be 600, 45 of the man, going to be 6 here, 4600, and 45 of the man, going to be 6 here, 45 of the man, going to be 600, 45 of the man, going to be 6, Tubby, 345 and a half, 81. Go to Greer County. Sherman's. Here's Larry's. Here's Larry's. Greer County, boys out there here, 310, 11, and 310, 11, and 310, 11, 310, 11, 310, 11, 11, 11, 310, outside 11, 12, and 12, and 13, we get 13, we get 14, we get 15, and you get 15, 16, and 16, and 50 there, going to be 16, and 50 there, going to be 16 here, 50 there, going to be 16, and 350, going to be 16, we get 16, going to be 15, going to be 16, and 316, out of there, going to be 16 here, T, 315 on 78. Thank you, Larry. Larry Miller, Calumet. Last cattle here, Larry here, 320. Just in time, Larry, 320 and 21 and 21 and 21 and 21, 21, 21, 21, and 21, 23, 23, 24, 25, 25, 26, here, 7 and 27. Going to be 20, heavy, and that's 20, heavy, to get 9, 29, to get 30, to get 1 and 31, 2 and 32, 3, to get 33, to get 34, to get 5 and 35, going to be 6, 7 and 37, going to be 30, heavy, to get 9, to get 9, going to be 9, to get 40, 1 and 40 down to 2, 3, to get 43, to get 44, to get 5 and 45, 45, 6 here, 47 and 47, going to be 40, hey, 47 of a 47 $8 and 47, 75, 75, 75, 75, going to be 47, going to be 8, so 340, 70, 78. Didn't walk. Here, TJ's. Denton Falls here, 335 and 335, 40 and 335, 37, 37, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 50 and 337, going to be half here, going to be 337, 50 and 330 is 40 and 340, we get 40, we get 40, we get 40, we get 40, going to be 40, 340 and 340, 40, we get 40, we get 40, we get 40, going to be 40, half 40 and half 40, 40, 40, half 40, you get 40 there, going to be 40 here, Tubby, 337 and a half, 81. Two more drafts. Two begins. $3. 275. 275. 275 and 275, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 280 and 280, we get 280, 275, go to 280, 75, go to 280, 280 and 275, go to 280, we get 280, we get 280 here, poke 275, 85. Yeah. 275. 275, 80, and 75, and 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 280, and 75, go to 275, 82, 75, 280, 75, 1 him, 270, 80, 280, we get 280 here, 280, 280, sold, 275, same way. Thank you. Yeah, the Hodges cattle have been selling on these cattle for the last 2 days. Alvord, Texas. These cattle have been weaned for 90 days. They've had 2 rounds of all their shots. Be 23 bouncing in here. Hodges cattle, Gary. $365. Has a good 5. Has a good 5. Has a good 5. 7 Hannah 7 Hannah 7 Hannah 7 Hannah 7 Hannah 7 Hannah 750 and 367 and a half and 67 Hannah 7 Hannah 7 70. We get 370. We get 370. You get a 7250 and 72 and a half and 70. We get 2 and a half. Going to be 70. We get 2 and a half. Going to be 7250 and 72 and a half. 72 and a half. 72 and a half. 72 and a half and 72 and a half. One tribe. 72 and a half and 72 and a half. And 70. We get 2 and a half. Going to be 70. We get 2 and a half here. West 370. 65. Here's some more. Bigger bros. $351, 50-51, 50-50, come on, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, you get 50, now on, 51, 50, now on, another one, another one, here, going to be 351, 50, now on, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 40, 41, 2, and 41, 2, and 41, 2, 42, 1, 2, 1, we get 2, 41, 2, and 42, we get 2, going to be 2, we get 2, down 2, you get 2, 3, and 3, 4, 5, 40, 4600 and 46, 45, you get 6, 45, 46, and 45, 46, here, 5, you get 6, tub, 345 on number 81. Thank you to the Hodges. Peters. Here's Freddie Peters. 2 Drastic Freddies. 365. Has a good five. 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 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 750. And 367 and a half here. Half here. Half here. Going to be 65 and 365. Has a good five. Has a good five. Hold your gate. 5. Has a good five. 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 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. Now let him go. 67 and a half and 7.5. 7.5. 7.5. 7. Going to be 67.50. And 67 and a half. 7.5. Going to be 7. Going to be 7. Going to be 7 and a half here. Here. So 365. Tubbs 65.
That's how they are over here.
I know. Hey, they do good on the week because they're not taking care of them in summertime. Let's go.
Whatever the grass does for them.
Got to get your hours in, Antone. Got to get your hours in.
Have to stay in. Can only get by us. I'm going to ask for a raise, so might as well stay and work.
21 more Freddies up there to Okarche. Three 51, 51, 50, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 2, I'm going 3, and 53, 54, 5, 55, 55, 55, and 55, and 56, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 50, and 55 and a half, 5, poke 355, 81. Say it again. The whitest of the white. White pink nose. Remember those heifers earlier from down there at Chickasha Gas? Nightingale. Here's to your mates. 351, 51, 50, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 2, 51, 2, 3, 52, 3, and 52, 3, and 53, 52, 53, 53, 53, 53, you get 3, and 4, and 4, 53, 4, going to be 53, 4, 53, 4, 53, 4, 53, 4, tub. 353, 7. Larry Sherman. They were nice, weren't they? Where's the heifers, Larry? No heifers? Kept him? Jimmy Haley. More than Nightingales. He got them big. 320, have one, and 20 to 1, 20, 21, 10, 11, and 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 11, 11, 10, 11, 3, 10, 11, and 3, 10, 11, 10, 11, 11, 11, 3, 10, 11, here, good 11, 11, 3, 10, 11, and 3, 11, video 3, 11, good 10, 11, video 3, 10, 11, and 3, 10, 11, video 3, 11, good 10, 11, video 3, 10, 11, here, Tubby, 3, 10, on 9. Thank you, Mark. B21 headed the double V cattle guys, Laredo, Texas. 352 and a half. You two and a 5 and 55 and 55 55 55 55 55 2 and a half and 5 and 55 and 57 and 60 and now 60 we get 2 and a half we get 5 and 65 7 and 7 and 70 we get 3 70 we get 3 72 50 and 75 and 75 here 75 here 75 75 77 and 77 and 7 50 now 80 and 3 80 we get 3 80 we get 3 80 what about $78 and $77 and 70 hey 70 hey 70 hey now 9 now 80 and 3 80 we get 3 89 80 we get 9 81 81 2 82 82 3 83 84 83 84 here 83 84 83 84 here West 383 65. Thank you to the double V's. Here's a Hill and Tony cattle, which all the Haverford mates, Hill and Tony. 335 and 335 and 35 37 man 37 man 37 man 37 man 37 man going to be 40 to get 2 and a half 5 and 45 47 man 47 man 50 and 50 to get 2 and a half going to be 2 and a half to get 5 and 55 57 man 57 man going to be 60 and 2 and a half going to be 2 and a half going to be 2 and a half to get 5 and 65 7 and a half 7 and a half 7 and a half 7 and a half 70 and 370 to get 370 going to be 72 and a half and 72 and a half 5 and 75 here 75 here 75 75 75 75 you get 5 here down 5 here Hayes 372 and a half, 7. McMillan. Here's the McMillan cattle, guys. White-faced steers. McMillan cattle guys right there here 351 50 51 50 51 here 55 55 75 days on a win guys. I've had 2 rounds here 51 51 51 2 51 2 51 2 51 2 51 2 51 2 51 2 got 1 now 2 and 52 and down 2 2 51 52 51 going to be 2 poke 351 79. Here's the Moffats. Moffat cattle. They'll be weaned long forever. Grass all summer, guys. Here's the Moffats.
That's pretty good for 140. One to three. Must have had a good buyer. Nobody knows what wood playing. All black. No, black. Black board.
Keeping a card too. 330, top one, and 331, and 331, and 31, here, 31, 31, 31, 31, top one, and 330, to get 330, to get 30, 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 to get 330, and 30, 30, 31, and 30, have 1, 31, 31, 31, 35, to get 3, 31, to get 3, 31, you get 1, and 2, and 2, 31, 2, 31, you get 2, 3, and 33, 32, 33, 33, have 4, and 34, 30, to get 34, 5, now 35, 36, 35, go to 6, here, 35, go to 6, 7, and 37, 6, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, 7, and 36, 7, and 37, going to be 6, 7, and 7, 7, 7, here, going to be 73, 36, 78. Wilson, Oklahoma, be the Jessen Steers. 335 and 335 and 35, 35, 35, 37 man, 37 man, 37 man, 37 man, 37, 50 and 337 Hannah 7 Hannah 7 Hannah 7 Hannah 7 Hannah 7 Hannah going to be 37 and a half and 337 and a half here going to be 40 you get 37 and a half 7 and a half 7 and a half 750 and 337 and a half going to be 337 and a half 337 going to be half 40 and half 40 you get 41 and 41 41 41 41 41 you get 41 you get 41 you get 41 2 and 41 2 3 4 5 you get 5 45 you get 5 and 44 5 and 44 5, you get 5, you get 5, 45 here. Poke 344, 81.
Sounds like a frat house, SGR.
SGR. We had the heifers earlier, guys. SGR cattle. Thin cattle right here. 350. 355. Yeah, 55. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here. 55, 55, 55, 7, 55, 57 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 57 and a half, and 57, 50, 57 and a half, 57, 60, and now 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 5, and 5, 5 here, now 5, and 65, and 5, and 2 and a half, and a 5 here, now 7 and a half, and 750, and 367, 7 and a half, 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 going to be 67 and a half here, going to be half. Tub 365 on 7. 65. Here's a Pee-wees, guys, here, 350. 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 350, and half 5, and 55, and 55 here now, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 355, and 55 here, now 5 here, 355, and 55 here, 60, 365, and 65, 70, 370, 370, going to be 370, and 570 there, going to be 370, and 370 here, tub 365 on 65. Guys, these cattle come from Marlin, Texas. Jason told me the cattle are weaned for 120 days. Got a little hair to them. If you got a little time, be some eyes on the deal, guys. The whole deal's for there's 14 here. There's 63 right behind them, and then 8. So be some eyes, be some hair. Just what you see is what you get. $3 a pound. 310 and 310 and down 10, go to 310 and down 10, go to 10 and 310, go to 310, go to 310, 10 20 and 320 30, we get 330, we get 330 40 and 340 50 and 350, we get 350, we get 350, we get 345 and 345 and 345 45, you been 345 50, 350, 355, 355 60, 360, 355 60, you got up here 360, 55 60. 360 and 55 60, going to be 55, going to be 60, going to be 5, going to be 60. Poke 355 straight. Be 63 more of these cattle guys are 120 on the weaning date. Be some hair, be some eyes. Be some. You pulled 8 of the worst off. Just a little better deal, Jace. I said the cattle guys, 120 days on the weaning. 350, not 5, and 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 57, 57, 57, 50, and 55, and 57, 57, 7 and a half, 63, 60 now, 62 and a half, and 2 and a half, 1 3, and 3, 5, and 7, 7, 9, 69, and 9, 70, and 3, 71, and 71, 73, 73, 73, 75, 75, 77, 75, 7, and 75, 7, now 9, 379, now 80, 380, and 381, 82, 83, 84, 85, 85, 6, 86 out of there, 85, 86 here, 85, 86, 7, 87, 87, 87, 87, 87, 86, 7, 87, 87 here, 87, 87 here, going to be 7, 86, 7 here, 87 here, so 386, Jason, 71. Here's what the growing looks like, Jace.
Yeah, that'd be like that tomorrow.
Yep.
Thanks, Ed.
$2 a pound. 210, 220, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 270, 80, 290, 290, $3. 290 to get 310. $3 to get 310. 310. You got it, Antone. 310. Who you got? 310, 20. 310, 20. 320. What about 15? 315. Poke 310. Nothing. Trevor, not trouble. Trouble. I got trouble. Thank you to you fellas from Martin, Texas. Let's go to the 4R consignment. These cattle were weaned back in June 15th. They've had 2 rounds of shots off the grass. They've had pellets, free choice mineral down at Alec, Oklahoma. You got a what? Hold one. Hold on here, 365. As it get a 35, 65. As it get hold one, 365. As it get about 7, 73, 72 and a half, 72, 50, and 72 and a half, going to be 72 and a half, 72, 50, and 72 and a half, 5, and 75, 77 and now 80, and 3, 85, 85, 85, and 93, 93, 95, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, here, Terry, 390 on 6, yard him out, short neck. Green Brothers from down there at Paoli. 355, yes, 355, 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 357 and a half, and 57, 50, and 57, 7, 7, 7, 350, and 350, and 350, we get 350, we get 335, 335, 40, and 335, and 335, 35, 40, we get 340, we get 340, 335, 40, 340. Sir, you're going to have to go check in the office with the girls, please. 340, 335, 40. 335, to get 40, 335, to get 40, 335, to get 40. Poke, 335, 67. You too. Yeah, right now. Wolf City guys, have the heifer mates early, guys. Jake Davis, I like the heifers. Here's Tears here, 365, and to get about 70, and 365, and to get about 70, 370, and half 5, and 75, to get 385, 85, 85, and 93, 95, and 95, 94, to get 4 and 5, going to be 405, going to be 405, and 405, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5. Here, Jason, $4, 70. We'll have to have a little visit after the sale. Well, the Davis is here, 351, and 52 and a half, and 50, 52 and a half, 52.50, and 2 and a half high, and 55, 63, 65, 95, 73, 73, 75, and 75, 75, 71, 72, 71, 2, 71, 2, 71, 2, 73, and 74, and 74, 74, 74 and a 5 here, 75, 6 here, 75, going to be 6, 75, 6, 7, and 77, 70, 70, 79, going to be 9, 80, and now 80, 80, 380, and 380, 3, 80, 3, 89, 89, 81, 81, 81, 81, 81, 81 here, Hayes, 380 on 7. Be the Kimball cattle, George. Chad Kimball. Out there at Hydro. 350, half 5, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 75, 55, 57, 7, 57, 57, 57, 57, 50, 57 and a half here, half here, half here, 57 and a half, out 60, and 360, 360, and 60 bid 60 there, going to be 60, 60 here, hey, 357 and a half, 7. Betger cattle, guys. They're little handy weight cattle. 365, has a good five, has a good 7 and a half, 7 and a 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 half, and 70, and 3, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, 75, 75 half, and 77 man, going to be 380, 383, 82 and a half, 82, 55 here, going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 87 man, going to be 87 man, going to be 87 and a half, going to be 87, 50, 87 and a half here, 87 and a half here, 385, 69. $335, and 335, and 35, 35, 35, 37, and 35, 7 and a half, and 30, 7 and a half, going to be 30, 7 and a half, going to be 37 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 337, 50, and 337 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, Tubby, 335 on number 7. I have no idea. Yard him out the red. I thought we done pretty good for the money we had. Here's a big old stand-up cattle. Old. Yep, old. $3. 3.5 and 3.5, 3.5, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 275, 80, and 275, and 275, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 275, and 275, 75, 75, 250, now 5, 255, 60, 265, 270, 275, 280, and 280, and 275, going to be 280, 280, 280, 75, going to be 280, and 75, going to be 280, 75, going to be 280 here, Trevor, 275 on number 1. They're bulls, guys, here, 350. 355, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 350, and 350, 350, 350, 335, 40, and 335, and 335, 35, 35, 335, 35, 35, 35, 35 here, 3 1/4, 325, 325, 325, 5, 325, 5, $3 a pound, 3 now 5, now 5, now 10, 15, 320, 320, bid 20, and 20 bid 20, there, going to be 20 bid 20, 320, and 20 there, going to be 20, bid 20, going to be 20, going to be 20, going to be 20 here, Tubby, 315, 66. They said these cattle have been doctored for foot rot. They have been doctored, guys. Here's a bomb hoffs. Here's Stevie's. 250. 255, and 55 here, 55, 55, 55, 55, $2 a pound, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 240, 50, 260, 260, 250, 60, 250, 60. I can get 250 for him, Steve. Let him go, Trevor. One. It's another one, Steve. Dollar a pound. 105, 10, 15, 20, 125, it'll get 30, 135, it'll get 40, 145, it'll get 50, 55, it'll get 60, now 5, 165, and it's get 5, how's it get 5, 165, 165. Your hostings look like that yet, George? 165. Sold 160 poke. 106. Still dragging them off. $2. $2.10 and $2.10.20 and $2.10.20, $2.10.20, $2.10.20 and $2.10.20. We get 30, 30, 40, $2.40 and 35, 35, 35, 35, $2.35 and 35. We get 35, 35, 35, 35, $2.35. We get 5, $2.35. 5 here, Trevor. $2.30 on one. All right, these have been TB tested. Doc has to look at them just one more time before they can get loaded out. But they have been blood tested. They've been TB tested. So when you buy them, just wait till you get them hauled out of here. $1 a pound. 110 and 110 and $110. Going to be 110. 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 $110. 20. 120. 130 and 20. 30 and 25 and 25. 25. 25. 25. 25. Going to be 125 and 25 here. 5 here. Going to be 125. 25 here. 5. Going to be 125. Going to be 125. Poke 120. 101X.
Maybe.
135, 35, 37, 35, 37, 7, 7, 7, 37, 50, and 30, 7, going to be 37, 40, and half 40, to get 2 and a half, going to be 40, to get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half. You're out now, 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, you get 5, and 45, to get 45, to get 45, to get 45, 45 here. Sold 142 and a half, Fantone 9. $3. 310 20 and 310 20 going to be 310 20 we get 3 3 we get 310 20 310 310 310 310 310 310 20 320 30 330 325 and 25 and 3 and a quarter 325 and 25 and 25 25 25 320 30 330 330 330 325 to get 30 Jace 325 70 He's got an old bump. $3. 3.5 and $3 for that. You're gonna get 3 and a 3. 250, 260 and 250, 60. You're gonna be 270. You're gonna get 280, 270, 80 and 270. You're gonna be 280. You're gonna get 280. You're gonna get 280. You're gonna get 270. You're gonna be 280. Trevor 270 on one. No. $3. 310, 310, 310, and 310, go to 310, and now 3, go to 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 $3, and now 3, go to 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 3, 275, 275, 275, now 80. 275, 80, and 280, you get 280, you get 275, go to 280 here, Terry, 275, 7. Here's the white one. The whitest of the white. Yep, the white one. Put them on 601 at $3. You all right? Mike, you might want to move down a few seats. Here's one we held. If we can get him by next Tuesday on something, let's go ahead and sell him. Yep, $3. 310, 320, 330, 320, 30, 320 to get 30. Trevor, 320, 1. Up at KC grazing. P.O. Did we have what? We did. I don't know. Hang on. Had a bread. Of Terry 6, we held him. $2. 210, 220, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 3, 10, 20, 330. What about you, Jay? 330? Trevor, 320 on one. A Hereford and a gray off Varner, 701. Sell them, Pope. 250. 250, 60, and 250, 60, 70, 80, we get 90, we get 3, we get 10, we get 20, we get 30, we get 40, now 30, 50, and 350, and 345, and 345, we get 45, 50, and 350, we get 350, we get 350, 10, 50, we get 50, we get 50, 45, 50, and 350, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50 here, and half 50 there, here, Terry, 345, 6. We could get so many rounds of golf in today if you wouldn't have done what you did. We could play 36 and then go play in the 9. Stupid cow. Won't do that no more. Is he going with you? You going? Chandler, Saturday? Chair. Fairgrounds. Three months. 250. 255, 55 now, 62, 70, even to get 2, 80, even to get 2, 90, even to get $3 here, going to be 3, even to get 3, going to 2, 90, even to get 3, 90, even to get 3, 90, even to get 3, 90, even to get 3. Trevor, 290 on 2. You can pin him with the ones. You just keep changing your profile, big boy. I love it. It's working so far. He changes his to whoever plays against Oklahoma. X. 250. 250, 60, 70, and 270, even to get 270, even to get 270, yeah, Antone, 270, 260, 70, yeah, Poke, 270, 260, 70, 260, 70, Trevor, 260 on 2.
Where's the pin not mine? They close them? Because I got one and then they don't pay mine.
70, 70, Alley. 77, 2.
They're pretty close. I don't know if it's someone up there. Maybe clicking on me. I got him in my bin. One, I got 4 heifers. One is tall one. The tall one I like to resell that one.
Today. Why don't you tell Ricardo?
It's working outside.
Oh, the tallest one,
The tall one.
Antonio Strait.
Yeah. The tall, crazy one. Yeah. Crazy.
338 at Varner 81. Got a man that might give a little bit more.
They got one more. Yes, sir, they got one. Got one more coming down.
Huh? I don't know. I think they'd had it for a while. It wasn't no bucket calf. Aborted. 250. 250, 60, and 250, and 250, we get 250, we get 250, we get 250 here, going to be $2. 210, 210, 20, 210, 20, 210, 20, yeah, Antone, 220, 210, 20, you bidding? 230, 240, Terry, 230, 9. That it? All right, that's going to be it for today. You guys have a good weekend. See you back here Monday morning, 10 o'clock in the a.m. Have a good day.